I'll open the first question to Robin Washit, Husker Online.
Hey, Delano. Wanted to ask you just about your past year here. Obviously, the sit out year, I'm sure you had a different vantage point of what happened last season. How much did you take that experience and kind of watching things, from practice, from the sideline, and how are you applying lessons learned from what went wrong last year to try and change it, make sure they don't happen this year?
I feel like last year has been a great learning experience for me. I used it, took all the ups and downs that we had and turned it and just use it in a positive manner. And this year, and learning that you have to be able to fight through the fire and get through the adversity when times are rough. And oftentimes we found ourselves on our backs last year and not being able to get over that hump and push through the adversity that we needed to push through. So just learning that and showing that we have to stick together throughout everything and just be together and be for each other. And then if we do that and stick together, then we could accomplish anything.
Michael Bruns, 24/7.
Delano, where do you think you've improved as a player in the last year?
I definitely feel like I improved on my jump shooting. Me and coach took me back to the basics on form and keeping my body straight and my head still shooting, and just the little simple stuff that'll help you be a better shooter in the long run. So definitely my shooting, and also putting on weight and trying to get stronger in the weight room. I've been going hard with Coach Will in that, and I feel like those are the most biggest two improvements I have as well going in. And also working with Doc, and Doc's a great defensive mind and also a great defensive coach, and him just teaching me the simple things on how to, stunt and recover, and just on when to do certain stuff like double team, or when would be good for me to double team because of my length and versatility. So just using everything that everyone has taught me and just trying to put it together.
Chris Pastet, Journal Star.
Hey, Delano, does it feel different, for you this year, knowing that you do get to suit up again after taking the year off? And do you feel, I guess, more excitement or more of a sense of urgency or anything like that? Or just kind of what's it felt like for you so far this year?
Yeah, definitely. Every day going into practice now, it's like I know I have a game at the end of it all. So like some days last year I would have down days, or like, I wouldn't be as much into it just because of the fact that I knew I didn't have a game coming at the end of it. But just being able to push through it and get through that year has been great for me. But knowing now that I have games at the end of it, it gets me going a lot more, and it makes me want to limit all down days to not having any down days, because me being one bad apple could help spoil the whole team. So just trying to be there every day and push through it, and knowing it's been a long road throughout this year, but the games are coming and we know what we have to do.
Sam McEwen, World Herald.
Hey, thanks for doing this. How hard was the pandemic for you? Like, I know that you had, you weren't necessarily in Nebraska for some of that, and of course you sat out a season, and I'm guessing there was a point this summer where you weren't sure there'd be this season. So, how hard was it, and how did you kind of get through it?
It was definitely hard. I had went back for the majority of the pandemic, or for the lockdown. I went back to Toronto, and when I went back, I couldn't get into any gyms because it was serious, and we're a big city in Toronto, so they locked down everything. So I kind of lost weight, and then when I finally came back here after a couple months of being home, I had to put that weight back on. So it was kind of a backtrack for me, but I've been getting better, and I put it back on, all the weight that I lost. So it's been crazy, but it's a road, and it's a journey, man, and it's a journey that it's new to everyone, and everyone's going through it, and it's a serious issue. So we're just looking to keep everyone safe and do whatever we have to do to make sure everyone's safe.
Where did you find a hoop in Toronto where you could shoot at? Somewhere outside, or what did you do?
They put like blocks on all the nets in like neighborhoods and stuff like that too, so no one would gather outside. So it was hard. I got into the gym like maybe towards the end of like the lockdown, like a couple days before I got to come back to school. I got to get in the gym like twice, and not the weight room, just like a basketball gym. But it was just me and someone else. I wasn't allowed to bring no one or nothing like that. So it was very strict. It was hard. It was hard, man.
Matt Foster, KETV.
Delano, when you played at Western Kentucky, you were primarily used as a point guard. Are you being used in a similar role here at Nebraska, especially given your size and length, which can obviously pose a lot of problems defensively for other teams?
Yes, I am. But the thing with coach's offense is that it's a very fluid offense. You could find yourself on the wing, on the block with the ball, and we have multiple guys who could play positionless as well as myself. So if it's on the ball that coach needs me, then I'll be on the ball, or if it's on the block, just being anywhere I needed to be to win is the most important part to me. And I feel like that's the thing about this team is that we're all here to win and just be where we need to be. So I feel like I'll be on the ball, but if coach wants me off the ball, then I'll be off the ball, but just wherever we need to be so I can help put my team in position to win.
Kevin Suits.
Hi, Delano. Nice to talk to you. People here in Nebraska haven't seen you play, maybe just some tape or maybe that open scrimmage you guys had a year ago. How do you describe your style of play, and what can you individually bring to the team?
I feel like my style of play is I'm a guy who has a very good feel for the game. I like to let things come to me and also use my height and versatility to facilitate and make plays for other people as well as score for myself. And I feel like my length on defense creates mismatches and stuff like that. So being able to guard many positions as well as play many positions is a big thing too. So we could go with a small lineup with a big guard like myself where I could be the big for times. And, it's just good to be able to play anywhere on the floor and be able to do whatever I have to do for the guys.
Okay, Connor Hebner.
Hey, Delano, you obviously saw it firsthand last year, but have you looked around the league yet at all the guys that kind of decided to come back that had chances to go to the NBA, and just looking around, seeing all the talent around the league, and obviously you guys have gotten better as well. How do you kind of put yourself in that mix in the Big Ten this year?
Like Coach, to reiterate what Coach said, the Big Ten is one of the best leagues in the country, and just to think it's going to be one of the best again this year. I haven't really looked into who's coming back or nothing like that. Right now we're just focused on what we have to do here as a team and just trying to piece it all together here as a team first before we could worry about other people. And I feel like once we get it together as a team, then there's not much that could stop us if we piece it all together and be 100% bought in with what we have to do. So just trying to come back and knowing that it's going to be a very talented and hard-fought league where nothing's going to be handed or given to you, and knowing that you have to go out there and take what's yours, and if you get punched in the face, you have to be able to punch back. So just knowing that there's going to be a lot of adversity throughout the years and just telling that to the guys because we've seen it first year and with the returners that seen it last year, and just reiterate that to the guys and make sure that everyone's ready and do the best we could do.
Jason Hahn, Daily Nebraskan.
Hi, Delano. Just looking at your stats here, some metrics seem to indicate that your defensive contributions somewhat outweigh your offensive contributions on the ball. Would you agree with this, that your defense is more impactful than your offense?
I couldn't say. I feel like I just do whatever I have to do to help win games. So if that's to play defense, be on the other side of the ball, then that's that. Or if some games is to be on offense. But regardless, defense is the main thing we go in with every game. Being able to stop your opponent and limit them in transition and gang rebound and stuff like that. So I feel like all of that is the most important part of the game. So I feel like, I use that as motivation going into the game. And
Our last question this round, Kent Pavelka.
Hey, Delano, I'm just curious to follow up on the idea that this has been so unusual. I mean, the whole preseason and through the pandemic and so forth. It's probable that there won't be fans in these arenas or very few. I'm just curious if you've given that any thought. I mean, you sit out all last year and, you suck up the environment, and I'm sure you got to feel like during that process, well, I can't wait for that. And now, it's probably not going to happen. What are your thoughts on that?
It's crazy. We love Husker Nation here at Nebraska. We feel the energy every time we go out on the floor. I felt it when I went out on the floor. I wasn't even playing. I would walk out. People would call my name. So I knew it was going to be something special coming into here and play in front of the 16,000 fans that show up every night. So we're thankful for Husker Nation, and, we want you guys to be out there, but with what's going on right now with the pandemic, we just want to keep everyone safe. So if that's not having fans, but it's for the better of the people. So, just going in there with that mentality, but definitely wanted to play in front of PBA, in front of all those people, man. It would have been great, but since I don't have it, still got to stay focused on the main goal and try and bring what I have to the table to help win games with the team.
Thank you, guys. We'll switch. Can repeat, please?
I'm sorry.
I say, do you think though that it affects players and teams not having that all that juice with you in the arenas?
I feel like it's definitely what, as a player, what you want and what you dream for, to play in front of the big crowd. But to say it's to affect it's a pandemic going on, it's never happened before, or where something like this has happened. So we're gonna have to come out and find out and see. But coach always pushes it to us that we're not gonna have fans. So just to practice to think like we're not gonna have fans. So being able to come out every practice in the morning and build your own energy and feed off each other. So we're gonna have to do that during the games if there is no fans, because we're not gonna have that push from Husker Nation, which we love. But we're gonna have to feed off each other's energy and be able to push each other and gain our own momentum for each other. So yeah, it's gonna be difficult, but we're looking to be a part of this journey and do what we have to do.
Perfect, guys. We'll switch up here and bring Ivan in here momentarily.
Thank you.